Hey LinkedIn, I'm here at the office of Underhood, an analytics and AI startup in Helsinki. And with me is one of the founders, Sami Kuusela. Hey Sami.
Hello. Hello LinkedIn.
So how about for the benefit of the viewers, Underhood in a few words. What do you guys do?
Underhood started as a business directory of the new generation. We found out that there is no business directories that are telling what companies are doing at the moment. You know, they have like old data and some founders and key personnel, but nothing really like what they really do. So we needed to do that for ourselves because we were doing consultancy work. Mm-hmm. We were finding startups for big companies to acquire or invest into or become friends with, and we needed the tool. Then we got investment from Asiakastieto, a stock-listed credit company in Finland. And then we started to think like what Underhood really is. So it needs to be some kind of a real service and not just a tool for us. So we found out that it's pretty easy to measure reputation from social internet, from social web. Social networks and also other social things happening online. And then we created this version of the Underhood that we have now, and it's giving scores about reputation, about buzz levels of how excited the audience, internet audiences are about companies or brands or politicians or whatever. So it's kind of super transparent service that is telling if someone is loved or not online.
And you guys got some visibility in traditional media as well when you were predicting how different things would take place, such as election victories and so forth.
Yeah.
How was that?
First, the whole idea was that Underhood is strictly business to business. Business is the serious business, and then we launched this a year ago in July. August, Donald Trump appeared on our front page on top lists. Mm-hmm. And it looked so ugly, So we removed all the politicians because, we don't want to have Donald Trump there. Yeah. Donald Trump was not elected president yet. And we just thought that, oh no, there must be something wrong with our algorithms. Yeah. Well, then we found out that, the thing was real and there was nothing wrong with our algorithms. And we were able to predict election results pretty well about the excitement of the crowds online. Then one Sunday morning, my friend asked on Facebook, because there was this Finnish singer Saara Aalto in X Factor UK, a talent show, singing. And whole Finland was going crazy, as you remember. And who's gonna win X Factor? And I was like, I don't know. I don't care. I haven't even seen the show. And then I just checked out Underhood scores for 5 finalists. And I put the order, and it was completely right. Everyone, it was total order of this final. And then Finnish media went crazy, and they were okay, there was more than 40 articles written about we have this system that can predict. And well, it's kind of then we realized this is more like a platform. It's like a platform for just checking out how excited people are online about anything, about politicians, about companies, about brands, about whatever. And we are still trying to figure out what we've done. Yeah. We just give scores to things. But our main business is to help companies to stand out on social.
So about half a year ago, right, you launched the Underhood Audit product, which I think I was the first paying customer for.
Yeah, you are.
So the audit, as I see it, is your way of making sense of the scores and sort of your way of comparing companies with different scores and bringing in your expertise as to what the company being audited should do in order to improve or in order to compete better?
Yeah. The main point why we created Audit was that we were giving scores to companies, and we found out that most of the companies and brands are totally lost with social media still. You can compare that to the situation back in the 90s when companies started to put web pages, home pages they were called back then. And they okay, we need to have home pages. Then they have home pages, but they don't know why. And the situation at the moment is that, so many brands and companies, they have their social network accounts. They have like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn maybe. Some have even Instagram. Some have even Periscope or whatever, And they are totally lost. They have the channels, but they don't know what to do there. And we were giving scores, and everybody was getting like bad scores. Yeah. And we were like just showing the middle finger to our potential clients, and they were like, "Okay, we suck. Do we go and kill ourselves, or what should we do?" And then we realized we need to give them advice, because it's better to sell advice than just telling your clients that they suck.
Yeah.
So we realized we have data. We have data about like daily collected data from thousands of brands, from small companies or artists or politicians to big companies, and we are fetching all the posts from Facebook and Twitter every day, and we have like real data that we can base our advice on, because as you know, there's like many different kind of social media consultants. And there's like lots of those who think they know, but they don't know. And they are like basing their advice on data that is not good data or even doesn't exist. It might be just their personal biases or whatever. And they think that there's lots of wrong advice out there, but we have the data. So we can help. And especially when we have the data about like special data about industries. For Audit, we ask companies that our clients to give us their competitors, 5 competitors, so we can like find data about like what works with the competitors and give them advice about that. So it's kind of super specific data-driven advice how to succeed online with minimum effort and maximum effect.
So is this based on the foundation of you being a business directory? So are you sort of incorporating that part of your original idea into the tagging and sort of the metadata of your consulting and sort of making sense of the social media data?
Yeah, but we can help. We've been helping politicians. There's a presidential election coming in Finland, so we have been doing some stuff in that too, and also there was like municipal elections, so many candidates were our clients back then, and also political parties. Underhood analyzes anything that has. You need to have a Facebook page to start with, because Facebook is a dominant network.
Yeah.
If you want to reach big audiences, you should be like active on Facebook.
For businesses, LinkedIn is becoming more, let's say, meaningful, not just recruitment, but also as a platform. Are you currently analyzing LinkedIn pages at all, or are you focused more on Facebook and Twitter?
I shouldn't even say this, but we were getting some data, but it was not okay to do that because they have really strict API rules.
Right. So with the current rules,
it's impossible.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
We've been trying to do that, but it's impossible. There's no way to hack around it. So.
And on the other hand, if you compare LinkedIn, let's say company profiles and personal profiles, company profiles don't really engage people. There's nothing happening around us. So that's another thing.
Yeah, and then it's about like why we analyze on Underhood, why we analyze like public profiles about companies like Facebook pages. Is that then we can compare. If we don't analyze like personal Facebook accounts, because most people share stuff with only their friends, and there's no way we can access without asking permission. And then we lose like this total transparency, because on Underhood everybody sees everybody's scores. Everybody can go to Underhood, search any company and see their scores. That there often comes like when we meet some people and they say like, hey, don't look at our scores on Underhood because we suck so bad, you know, don't look at them. And we always say like, okay, but your competitor has possibly checked out your score anyway, so you know, why to hide it from yourself?
So then that brings us to the topic why I was so interested to come and visit you today, which is that you've come up with a way to avoid the common pitfall of a product startup, which is that you end up becoming a consultancy, which takes time away from developing your product and sort of skews you from your original goal. And now what you've done is you've been working on this machine learning model, or machine
teaching. Maybe.
Well, you're right. Yeah, it's from which way you look at it, but where you replace the sort of 90% of the boring consultancy work with a machine learning model, and use the experts to bring in the sort of final touches of expertise. Is this a right way of putting what you've just done?
Yeah. Audit is a well-written 12-page report that has like, first we go through the channels, different social media channels, and analyze them, give numbers, show the most popular posts. Then we do a competitor analysis where we compare our client to all the competitors that our client has given to us with different scores and follower counts. And then the real beef is like we give 5 concrete tips how to improve, like easy to implement kind of things that you in your daily social media life, what to post, what kind of stuff, how often you should post, what your language should be, and things like that. And it's all based on our data that we've analyzed. We do some language analysis automatically daily also on Underhood, and that took 15 hours of manual work, human work, and we were selling them, and the price was like €1,000, 980, and that's not a good business. No. It's not scalable. No. And we are lazy. Our background is in writing. I've been doing professional journalism since '90, so it's been 27 years. So I kind of know a bit about writing. So is our CEO Antti, co-founder too, who's been more like a business writer and an editor in a publishing house. So we are lazy and we hate writing. We are good at it. We are maybe the best in Finland in our fields. The task was to automatize, to robotize writing. So we started to think like how to do it, because we want to scale up, and then we came up with this idea of robotized audit, that the main point should be that the machine gives you a report. The machine is, you are like, the consultant is like the editor-in-chief. Machine gives a report based on rules and based on data that has been given to the machine. The consultant starts to do changes, editing the report. And all the time you do that, everything you change is stored in our system and given like industry tags, keyword tags, different metric tags and things like that. So every time you do a report like you would do without this machine teaching system, the machine learns, and the consultant doesn't even realize that he or she is teaching the machine to replace him or herself. It's like good writers are making themselves unemployed by just doing reports.
So it's sort of like an analogy of frog who goes into cold water and doesn't realize when it becomes boiling.
Yeah. Yeah, and
in a sense,
and you dig in a grave to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it is a dystopy in that way.
Yeah, but on the other hand, earlier before we started recording, we were discussing this article about how the API has become this sort of dividing factor in the society, where you're either above the API, where you're teaching the robots, teaching the algorithms, or you're below the API, like an Uber driver who gets told by the robots or the API what to do. So in this case, I mean, if you think about it, as a writer, you can either start trying to beat the algorithm and write better or faster, or you can move above the API and teach the algorithm and sort of be the one who brings the value.
Yeah, I've been trying to think like this new era of writing in a way that, you know, on top of this triangle, there are like these systems that are taught by good writers. Because the first thing is that, you know, what I've never realized how artificial intelligence will replace consultants. But with our own product, which is pretty nice, now I realize how it will be, because we've saved already 93% of our human writing time with this. We are making ourselves unemployed in a way. On top of this triangle, you have these systems. Then in the middle, there's like a new profession. They're like, we call them text logic designers. They are like industry-specific, half writers, half logicians, half kind of coders, not really coders, but, you know, who can create rules.
Algorithm thinkers or rules thinkers, yeah.
Rules about like any kind of written document that can be done into a format and that is data-based.
Sounds exciting, and I think many people will be really interested in taking a look at what Underhood says about their company. So where should those people go to check out Underhood and what it can do?
So this is the time to pitch.
This is the time to pitch.
Underhood.co is the address, and there anybody can find any company that has some social media presence and see how they're doing. Usually people are interested in their own company or brand. And then you can audit there. We will be having some pretty exciting things coming up in maybe next week, also new stuff. But it's already, you never should sell like saying like wait for your client to.
But you should go and order an audit now, and you can see what the machine can do for you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks Sami. It was great meeting you.